afternoon. I'm Shawnee Au and this is One News Now. The World Health Organization is observing a steady increase in new COVID-19 cases across the globe. Let's bring in Jen Calimon, who joins us live from Malabon City to give us the details. Jen, hi. What did the World Health Organization say was driving this uptick in new infections? Is it already the Omicron variant or is it winter?
Hi, Sean. The World Health Organization said that globally cases have been increasing for 7 consecutive weeks and deaths have started to rise too, not just because of the Omicron variant, but remember, Sean, that we still have the Delta variant and other variants of concern, and there's also a decrease in protective measures in other parts of the world. Aside from this, Sean, among the reasons why there are surges in other countries, according to the WHO, are due to increase in mobility, social mixing, and the easing of travel restrictions. Sean?
Right. Jen, do we have the latest information from authorities around the world, like the WHO, on this Omicron variant? Do we know anything new about it?
Okay, Sean, in the Western Pacific region alone, it is Vietnam that has the most number of new cases in the past 24 hours with 14,000 new cases and 197 new deaths. Next is the Republic of Korea with 5,000 new cases, Malaysia with 4,900, Laos and Singapore with 1,200, and Australia with 1,100 new cases. Also included in the list are Mongolia, Philippines, New Zealand, and China. So far, Sean, we have 29,000 new cases in 18 countries in the Western Pacific region and 359 new deaths in 10 countries. Sean?
Right. Do we know, Jen, anything about its transmissibility? Is it any more transmissible, for example, compared to the Delta variant? And what about the effects on vaccine efficacy?
The World Health Organization is closely working with researchers and experts in gathering more information about this Omicron variant. So far, Sean, what they know is that it is potentially transmissible or more transmissible because it has many mutations. And the preliminary evidences also show that it could possibly bring the infection to those who had COVID before. Now, in terms of detection, widely used tests continue to detect infection, including infection with Omicron. But there is no information yet, Sean, that suggests that Omicron could give more severe illness and that current vaccines are not effective at this time. Sean?
All right. The WHO previously slammed these travel and border restrictions that are being implemented by a lot of countries. Jen, have they changed their tune since the emergence and since finding out more about the Omicron Delta or Omicron COVID variant?
Well, Sean, in terms of border control, the DOH said that countries should apply risk-based approach while calibrating measures based on evolving risks. So with tighter border control, we can buy time and prepare ahead for the entry of this new variant. But as what WHO Regional Director Takeshi Kasai said, people should not be complacent just because we have strict border control. So citizens must still adhere or follow health protocols, and the government should increase vaccine coverage because the higher the vaccination rate, the more open borders can be. Sean?
Right. Has the WHO, Jen, given official word on how or guidelines on how governments should act, or what policies that government should enact in order to prevent the possible spread of the new variant? This is, of course, except border controls.
Well, Sean, the WHO is anticipating that Omicron variant might penetrate more countries in the future. And so we must always be prepared for future surges. But because until there is a transmission, virus will continue to mutate. Now, for now, Sean, none of the information about Omicron variant suggests that we need to change the direction of our response. So the WHO urges each country members to again continue and recalibrate the proven effective measures against infections such as mask wearing, physical distancing, hand hygiene, and most importantly, Sean, intensifying the country's vaccine rollout. Sean?
All right, thank you so much for those updates and stay safe. Jen Calimon joining us live from Malabon City. Thank you, Jen. And the vaccine expert panel says that the threat of the Omicron COVID variant prompted the early rollout of booster shots for the general adult population. Dr. Nina Gloriani told The Big Story that the booster rollout was not supposed to start until December 10. But with the Omicron variant posing a threat, the government opted to start the rollout ahead of schedule.
Actually, when we heard about the variant coming or already circulating, the Omicron, we thought that we need to boost everyone na. Hindi na lang yung A1, A2, A3.
Gloriani added that vaccine hesitancy among Filipinos appears to be waning, although brand preference is still very much an issue.
I think they really understand now that there are certain LGUs that only offer a certain brand. So maybe we have to work harder on that. Pero more actually are just getting what they get.
And the Interior Department is warning candidates against holding political rallies amid the threat of the Omicron COVID variant. The DILG says it is looking into several political rallies conducted nationwide to see whether or not there are violations. Undersecretary Jonathan Malaya said politicians should wait for the formal campaign period to kick off before they start holding activities.
Bawal po ang mga political rally sa panahon ng pandemya. Kung ito po naman ay special gatherings, no, gaya ng magbibigay ng tulong sa ating mga kababayan, kailangan pong sundin yung mga IATF regulations.
We'll be back with more stories after this short break. Stay with us here on One News. Watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. The Trade Department is advising the public to buy Noche Buena goods early in order to prevent running into bigger crowds later in the month. Speaking on agenda, Undersecretary Ruth Castello also urged the public to look for bundled goods in order to save money this holiday season. Castello likewise warned the public to not patronize products on social media with unpublished prices. She reminds that under the law, prices of products being sold should be listed and visible to consumers.
We can bili na tayo ng mas maaga and look for, we would advise also to look for mga bundled products. Prices of the products should be on the face of the product itself when you buy it or when you sell it.
Let's take a quick look at today's other top stories. Petitioners seeking to cancel Bongbong Marcos's candidacy have secured a certification from a trial court that the former senator did not pay the fines from his tax conviction case. The petitioners' counsels, led by attorney Ted Te, were able to secure documents from a QC or Quezon City Court stating that Marcos Jr. did not comply with the required payment. The group says it will bring this new evidence to the COMELEC's attention. The whole country is now under Alert Level 2 after the government downgraded Apayao from Alert Level 3. The de-escalation came after a change in metrics. The one-week growth rate of COVID-19 cases will no longer be included in determining alert level classifications. Instead, areas will be classified according to bed utilization rate and case classification. And the Health Department reports that 8 million doses have been administered so far during the government's national vaccination drive. Undersecretary of Health Mirna Kabutahes said some 2.8 million doses were given on the third day of the activity. The government has extended the event until today in order to reach its target of 9 million shots administered. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Masks on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.